Well, if you read the title and you saw the thumbnail, I guess you guys know what's going on. I can't believe I'm doing it, but I'm getting rid of my tow rig. If you guys haven't already known, this is my tow rig. It's a 2004 Toyota Tundra. It's the V8 double cab with obviously four-wheel drive. And over the last almost 5 years, this truck has taken me wherever I wanted to go, has towed whatever I put behind it, and has never let me stranded. And I can't believe I'm actually letting it go. But to be honest, I have been wanting another truck for a long time, and this truck is just so reliable that I just haven't got myself to actually go out there and get something new because of how attached I am to this thing, you know. And when you have something that works for this long and doesn't leave you stranded, like why change it? And honestly, the only reason I'm changing it is because I want something a little bit newer. There's something I've really been after for a couple years, and now that I got rid of my only tow rig, it'll force me to get the thing I want next. But let's talk about this truck for a little bit. I bought this thing in November of 2020 for about $4,200, and it had 240,000 miles. And Brother Curvis was pretty upset with me because I negotiated without talking to him. You know, negotiating one-on-one. Like when you go look at the car, you like, can you give me a minute? I gotta talk to my brother over here. We're gonna find a way to lowball you. But it was exactly what I wanted, and it was for a good price. Because before this Tundra, if you guys don't know, if you look way back in the channel or first couple videos, I had a 2002 Access cab that was two-wheel drive but still the V8. So having that for a bit and how reliable it was, I just needed to get the double cab because the Access cab is a little tight in the rear, and you know, it is what it is. And I guess this video is going to serve more as a buyer's guide than, you know, my feelings behind it, but use it as you will, entertainment or information. It is what it is. But this thing is a tank. The engine, the 4UZ, or sorry, the 1UZ is a 4.7 liter engine, and this thing is a tank. It's just amazing. It has 282,000 miles now at the time of me selling it, and 5 years, 40,000 miles. Obviously, I haven't been put as many miles as a typical person would, but I just had, over the last 3 years or so, I've had a company vehicle, so I haven't been driving it as much. But when it was my only car and my daily driver, I was putting, I think 10,000 miles a year at a bare minimum, and it was not like a light 10,000 miles. It was towing things and going up, up into the mountains of Pennsylvania and stuff like that, doing, burnouts in the snow. So I've done burnouts in the dryness. If you guys in the dry in asphalt, if you guys didn't see our burnout challenge back in June. So it's just been indestructible. It's done everything I've ever wanted it to do. The AC works. I had to replace the compressor. The power steering, I had to replace the high pressure hose. But everything works, and it's very easy to work on. I mean, at this point, the truck is 21 years old. This truck is amazing. The things to look out for when buying one of these trucks is the following. You want to check the frame, especially if you're in the Northeast. Some of these were part of the recall where they got the frame replaced, but some of them just got the frame sprayed in undercoating. But to be honest, that was just a band-aid on a wound. It lasts a couple years, and the frame is just going to deteriorate as it normally would. So you want to look out for the frame, and you want to make sure that that's it. That's really the only thing you got to look out for when you're buying these, as far as preventative maintenance and things you want to think that make it a better buy. Timing belt, water pump being done, and the radiator too. These things, the 04s have an external transmission cooler versus the 2001s or the 2000, 2003 have an internal transmission cooler in the radiator, and those usually fail. Then the transmission fluid gets mixed in with the coolant, and it just starts spewing out of the reservoir, and that's how you damage a radiator, an engine, and a transmission all at once. So you want to make sure that that's been taken care of. You want to make sure the 04s are not interfaced, but the 05, 06 are interface engines. So you want to make sure that the time belt, water pump have been done, or you will do them soon after buying them. And the last thing, the only other important thing when buying another they're called FGTs or first gen Tundras, is the front lower ball joints. So these things, I mean, I'll put a bunch of pictures here, but they're known for the lower ball joint failure, and it'll just take off. You know, a lot of it happens, where you're going slow or standing still, but some of it actually happens when you're driving and these things flip over and just, they become nothing but scrap metal in a couple of seconds. However, they're pretty safe for whatever solace that is. And my other truck, I'll put a picture of it here, had it was an access cab and it had a tonneau cover, but I've always been a fan of the camper. So this truck came just the way you see it, just put new tires on it and a remote starter. Otherwise, it's been exactly the same as I bought it. Tinted windows, all these deflectors, the windows, and this one's actually an OEM Toyota one. See it right there. So the way you see it is exactly as I bought it, maybe a little bit more worn, but this thing's been great. Really enjoyed this truck, and it's a bittersweet moment, but I know better's coming. And unfortunately, with my attachment issues, the only way I can move forward is if I get rid of this thing first. So we're on the way actually right now. I got a deposit on this yesterday, and I am, I'm not one of the guys, I'm not one of the guys who are like, oh, it's a car, you'll never make your money back. Me, I try to squeeze every dime back out of this thing. So, usually back before I bought this, everything else, like I've either broke even on or made money on. My other Tundra, I got a banging deal on for $1,200. It needed a brake line and a strut. I paid $1,200 for it, sold it for I think like $2,500 after a year or two of beating it around because I wanted a four-door. So that brings me to today. So I have a cousin, and he knows who he is. And he's like, it's a car, he's like, take a bath in it, lose like a couple $1,000s. It's like, he's buying a newer car, so obviously it's more like typical in that realm of like buying cars. But to me, like, I try not to lose anything. However, it's a long way of me saying I'm about to lose some money. And I don't think I'm gonna lose money because, like I said, this thing has done everything. And I mean everything I've ever wanted it to do in the last 5 years. Driving in the snow, driving in, up mountains with a trailer attached, towing cars back and forth, driving through the water. I've done everything. I'm not into like off-roading, so I never did that to it, but like everything else, like lugging lumber around, throwing trash away. I actually have a picture where I put like a whole bucket of gravel in the back of this thing, and this thing was like leaning, but like it's just been an amazing truck. And long story long, I bought this truck almost 5 years ago for $4,200, and I did a timing belt, water pump, radiator, tires, brakes, remote starter, and I'm obviously gonna lose. So I listed the truck up for $3,800. Actually, I listed it up for $3,850 because you got to put a little odd number there for low ballers. And I ended up, man, this truck is nice. Is that SQ5? What is that? Tell me in the chat. Tell me in the comments. What is that? But either way, I listed the truck for $3,850, knowing that people were gonna lowball me because the number I really wanted for this was $35. And ultimately, I had some lowballers. I had some dude, and no offense to this guy, because you're obviously gonna try to get the best you can, but he was giving me like $3,000 and like, 2 sets of like BS wheels and engine that needed a rebuild. And I'm like, bro, I just want cash. Like thank you, but I don't want to work harder to get an extra couple $100s. You're the first guy that comes sees it. I'd rather give it to somebody who wants it, needs it for what it really is, than somebody that's trying to get, a good deal. No shade to that guy. I'm that guy that tries to get good deals, but I'm not the guy that just tries to throw all my junk at people in an event to try to get a better deal. So it is what it is. I'm sure if anybody here has listed anything on Facebook Marketplace, you've gotten traded like TVs, PlayStations, Xbox, couches, like everything. People just throw whatever at you. But I said it already, I'm getting $3,500 for this car, and I'm gonna go deliver it in about like 35 minutes, 40 minutes away from where I live. So this, unfortunately, is the end of my tow rig. My best tow rig I've had yet, and it's number 2, but it's just the best one. Let's take a nice little thumbnail here. gone but not forgotten. I'm gonna miss this truck, but I'm telling you guys, whenever the time comes that I buy the new one, it's gonna be amazing. I really am excited to go embark in that, and maybe we'll make a road trip out of it. Who knows what end up happening whenever we find the perfect truck and it's at the perfect time. But for now, let's say our final goodbyes to the rig. I'm gonna put a little montage here of everything we've done with it. Pictures, photos. Pictures and photos are the same things. I don't know, I'm just emotional. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Day 2 of the burnout challenge. The SC wouldn't turn on today, but that's not a problem. Yesterday we had 4 subscribers on YouTube, 2 followers on Instagram, 0 on TikTok. So we're gonna be doing a 6-second burnout. So let's see if old girl got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tune back in tomorrow for day 3. What's up, guys? Welcome back to day 5 of the burnout challenge. Yesterday was a huge day. We got 34 subscribers on YouTube, 8 on Instagram, and 8 on TikTok. So that equals to a 50-second burnout. Today we're in the rig because Cousin Gary couldn't pull through, but we're gonna do it. Oh yeah.